So it is currently the 27th of August at around 20 to 11 in the evening or at night. And what I'm going to do over the next few clips you see in this video, I'm going to try and record some live trading, but raw trading. So I've done it previously where it's been highly edited, been cutting bits out to make it, I didn't want you to have to sit through 4 hours of slow candle movement, so I'd obviously cut it up into a 10-15 minute video. But this video is going to be longer, and the traders that want to see how I analyze a trade, manage the trade, and then journal the trade, the full process, I'm going to be recording for this video. I'm just going to have my webcam recording when I'm actually in the trades. It's not going to be the best quality, it's not going to be the most entertaining, but I feel like it will be the most educational video I've probably posted on the channel, because you can tell someone to be more disciplined, you can tell someone to be more patient, but having the actual experience in the market and seeing what a full-time trader actually does when they're analyzing a position, when they're managing a position, whether the trade loses or wins, hopefully we get some good content. This month already, we're up a pretty decent amount. Swing trade, we're up 1% this month, and my day trading. So I do actually risk a lot more on my day trading account. What I do is I don't put my full account balance in the account, because I feel like you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You shouldn't put, if you're trading with 100k, you shouldn't put 100k into your broker, because firstly, even though it's FCA regulated, you're only protected up to 85k anyway, for an example. So I actually put a lower amount in, but I risk more of the account balance when I'm trading. So we're up technically 11.57% this month, but I'm not risking 1%. I risk around 2%, 2 to 3% per trade. So that is why I'm up higher on that account. But yeah, swing trading up 1%. We're slowly climbing the profits on that account. But yeah, swing or day trade over the next couple of days. Hopefully we get some good setups to show you guys. Okay guys, so we have had an alert on GBP CAD, which we have actually entered on the 4-hour time frame. So again, this trade here missed and then absolutely skyrocketed, so delete that now. We had a break to the upside here, didn't have any pullbacks into this area, so we didn't get into any trades, but now we've got a pullback here and we are looking to get into the setup. So this was an area from 7 days ago, but if you look here, we rejected pretty perfectly off the level. It's hard to see because of the time frame, but if we just zoom in here, you can see that we've rejected around 10 pips off the area here. I do want to see what happens once we get back to these highs here, because technically we've been creating this sort of formation, and the reason I have my stop loss below this level is I don't want price to obviously break down out of these levels here. So we could come down all the way to here and still be valid to then go to the upside. We come down to here, but then wick up above, close body there, and go to the upside. So I have it below the area just to be safe on this trade. It is very, very simple, and hopefully we see what happens at this area here. One thing to do now is to simply set an alert. So we can set an alert at around this level, just like that. So now we know when price gets to that level, we can do some management if it does require it. And we also have GBP USD. We had a trade yesterday, but we didn't actually take it because, as you see, it happened at 3:45, and I don't trade New York session. I'm not actually on the charts in New York session. It's not very profitable for my personal trading, or not as profitable as London session. So we're now looking for a retest up here to short down to these lows. We have a simple 1 to 3 risk to reward, which hopefully we can hit. We are already up a decent amount for the month on both accounts, a combined I think 12 point something%, but obviously one account, as I mentioned previously, it's not risking that set 1% as the same as my swing trading, for example. So we are looking to see what happens on this trade here. We can set an alert at the entry, so when price does come up near the entry, we know exactly what's going to happen. And the beauty of it is, because I use 10 pip stop loss, it's very easy to calculate the lot size. So if you're using a 100k account, risking 1%, it is 10 lots. If you're using a 200k account, it's 20 lots. And if you want to risk 2% on a 100k, it's 20 lots. If you want to risk 3%, it's 30 lots. It's very easy to calculate, and you don't have to get up risk calculator tools or anything like this. You can just calculate it in your head with ease, and it's not really a struggle in the slightest. So it's around 9:45. This is a good time to trade, and we obviously had a lot of volume with this push down, which is great because it leaves us a big area to trade from. But the only downside to this is oftentimes when price does make a big push like this, it can correct the whole move and come up to around this level. But I'm going to follow the plan as I always do and trade the plan, and hopefully the plan works out. That's the ideal situation. So yeah, if the alert goes off or we get close to the entry, I will catch up with you guys. Okay guys, so we are approaching the level here now. If we just check in on GBP CAD, you see we're still around the same area, around 14 pips in profit, around that sort of level. We go back here to GBP USD, and I have my broker here, and when price is in that level, we can enter the trade if it is obviously still perfectly valid and it doesn't just push massively through the entry point. So yeah, everything's worked out perfectly so far. Usually on a trade like this, when price retest in, it's like when it happens fairly quickly like this, it's great. Let's say price pushed down and then it was consolidating around here and then pulled back up like hours and hours later, or like a few days later, I wouldn't value it as highly. But because it is, within a matter of an hour and a half maximum, that's quite a quick retest. So that is why I am, fairly confident on this trade. And obviously you should be confident on your trades because, yeah, if you have your plan, then there's no reason to not be confident in your trades. So going to just look here. We're going to add our limit in. Okay, so as you see, the limit is now set on this trade, and we'll see what happens on this trade now. When I'm actually on my MT4 like this, my swing trading account and my day trading account are separate. So I would just put in the level that I bought from on the second chart here, so I can basically monitor both positions at once. Even though obviously I'm not seeing the profits on this trade, but that doesn't really matter. You don't need to see the profits. You could just remove this here, and if we go like this, it's probably better for your trading if you're not seeing the pound values. Obviously you can see it in the corner, but not seeing it is definitely the best way to go about your trading, in my opinion. So we're very, very close to the entry now. If we just look around 2 pips away from the trade tagging us in. Okay, so currently we are rejecting the area. We were about 1 or 2 pips away from the entry, as you can see here. But that's fine. A lot of people, when they see this happen, they'll zoom in and be like, oh, well, maybe if I entered slightly here before the entry, I would have made this many pips already. I would have made 10 pips. But you need to look at it as, imagine you entered early, 2 pips early on this trade, and then you did get in. But imagine 5 times that hit stop loss. You're then losing an extra 1% overall. And let's say this trade does drop down now, but then it goes all the way back up into stop loss. You then lost 1.2% if you haven't adjusted your lot size and your stop loss size, for example. So having a plan and sticking to it to perfection is the only real way to get trading success. Otherwise, why have a plan? It's literally as simple as that. There's no point having a plan if you're not going to stick to it to the T. to perfection. So now, like I said, my entry is in this point. I'm not now panicking because if price drops down, I'm going to miss the trade, because yesterday we had this, well, I could have entered in New York session, but it's not in my trading hours, so I didn't trade it. And then we also had another buy, I think it was around this area or this area, where it was in New York session again, and I didn't get into the trade, and I missed the whole move. You know, I would have made 6%, but instead we're at 0% for the week. So you can definitely panic into trades and get FOMO, for example, just by seeing price going in your direction or your predicted direction. If you're not in the trade, it can be quite dangerous. So it's definitely something to watch out for. So we've currently missed the trade, as you can see. You know, we're about, if we just look, about 0.81 pips away from the entry, and now we are around halfway to the take profit. So the likelihood of this coming back is obviously a lot slimmer now, but obviously there's still a chance. But if it does get to the final TP, then obviously I'll cancel the limit because the target has been hit. There's no reason to hold the trade any further, especially when it is this close to the entry. But the alert is set there, so if it does come back up, I will know about it. But yeah, just let it run, see what happens, and just be patient. That's pretty much it. Okay guys, so we were quite unfortunate today. As you see, GU actually made a massive meltdown of around 57 pips or so, and as it missed us by 0.8 pips, it can be quite frustrating. But we wait, and tomorrow is a new day and we're going to trade the plan. Coming into next week, it is obviously the first week of the month, the first week of September, which means we will have NFP. So that will be quite exciting. Hopefully we get some trades on NFP, and I'll most likely make a separate video trading on the NFP. But this is just something that I want to show you. So I'm going to copy the image and I'm going to go into Edgewonk. So they actually have a missed trades journal. I've just gone onto a different account to show you, and we're going to add a trade. Just going to show you how I would do this. So obviously we're going to firstly add the screenshot, so we add that in there, and then we can say some things about that trade. So the time of the setup was today at around 10:30 a.m. So we change this to 10:30. The instrument was GBP USD. The setup was, it was a normal setup for me, so default setup. It was a short. The entry price, easy way to do this, is just come in here, copy, paste, exit date. That was today, and price hit the take profit at around 1 p.m. But obviously this is in a missed trade scenario, so it's not going to count towards our P&L. And exit price would obviously be the profit level, and the stop loss would have been at this level here. P&L, let's just say 3k, and the exit price is the same as the take profit. So now we have to write down about this trade. So what I could say firstly is, did my usual analysis in the start of London session, and there was a valid break of structure. So what we're doing here, the first point, we just want to see, okay, how did I find this setup? So I did my usual analysis, the start of London session, so it reinforces the fact that it was in my trading hours. As you can see, it was in my trading hours, and there was a valid break of structure that broke on the 9 a.m. candle. This is quite important because I can look back and see, okay, let's say I've got 20 missed trades in this journal, for example. I can look back and be like, okay, I'm going to flick through these and see if there's any patterns. So maybe if price breaks on the 9 a.m. candle, it doesn't retest quite to my entry level. So then you can look back, okay, if it breaks at 9 a.m., how could I get into the trades? So this is an amazing tool to actually use. Then we're just looking here, price created an imbalance area, which gave us the confluence entry. I'm not going to go fully into detail on the actual strategy side of it because I saved that for my mentorship, but this is what we do. I set a limit for a 1 to 3 and then let the trade run. Price came less than a pip from my entry and then dropped to the take profit. I did not FOMO into the trade when it was near the entry, so the overall management was great, even though we didn't get tagged into the position. So these are just quick, it takes you 2 minutes, for example, less than 2 minutes to just write this down, and it can save you so much time in the future. I could look back at this and see, okay, why did I miss this trade? Did I do something wrong? But if you've actually written it down, if you've actually written down the whole kind of phase, and let's say I got into a trade, or let's say I saw price dropping and I tried to sell at a different level, then you could say this trade missed and it caused me to FOMO into another position which ended up losing, that ended up winning, but I didn't follow the plan. That's something that you could potentially write. Then you can add custom comments in here. Let's say, for example, price came close to entry. So you can tag that there. So let's say we save this here. Then you can go along here and see all the different setups that you've actually missed. So then if you hover over this, it gives you a little brief thing. And obviously you can click in and you can see everything. You also have an analysis tab too, but that's for another video. So that is what I would do if I actually had a missed trade, because you kind of need to realize you can learn more from missed trades than you can the ones you're actually entering, because the trades that you're actually entering are ones that have years and years of data on already from your backtesting. So you know what happens over the long term, what happens when you get into a trade. But majority of people don't count and don't journal or backtest and learn from their missed trades. So this is a way to get a step ahead of the average trader. So even though we didn't take any trades in this video, apart from GBP CAD, which as you can see is still running, we didn't close below this low here, which is a good sign. But if we do fail to create, a higher high here and break this one, then the trade is no longer valid and we will get out of the position. It's as simple as that. But yeah, GBP CAD in the trade, running around 10 pips, 11 pips. GBP USD entry missed. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.